time is 7 o'clock. I call this meeting to order. Let us begin the meeting by standing and saying the pledge to the American flag, followed by a moment of silence. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Roberts, please call the roll.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Here.
Mr. Hoffman.
Here.
Mrs. Johns.
Here.
Mr. Kimmer.
Here.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Here.
Okay, all are accounted for. Moving on to minutes. If everyone's had a chance to review the minutes and there are no comments or questions, I need a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
So moved.
Mr. Hoffman makes a motion. I need someone to second.
I'll second.
Ms. Johns seconds.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes,
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer.
Yes.
motion passes. Are there any adjustments to the agenda?
No, ma'am.
Okay, moving on to information discussions. Superintendent's update. Mr. Belleville, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. What a weekend it's been for our school district, our kids. You know, it's exciting, definitely exciting in the office today. A lot of buzz around the district. So I have a few things to go over in regards to this past weekend, the week ahead for our district, and kind of a little bit past that, some big things coming up. First, though, we'll talk about a few agenda items. And I can get into these more as we get into the agenda itself, if anyone needs clarification as we get to a certain item on the agenda, I can talk more about it at that point. But we have a couple of resignations for the purpose of retirement this evening, and we did invite the staff members to join us this evening, but as with most of our staff, they just take great pride in doing their job and just want to show up, do a job, and then hate for any praise to be heaped on them in public. And so the last day of school, we will honor our retirees as we do every year. But this evening, we'll talk about the three of them. First, Keith Barr. Mr. Barr is a retiree hire, and he is ready to step away from the classroom once and for all. Coach Barr is hopeful that the board will consider to keep him on as girls basketball coach past this year, as well as the activities director that he served in that capacity for many years. So he'd like to continue serving the district and serving our student athletes. But it just feels like it's time for him to step away from the classroom full time. I'm sure it doesn't have anything to do with his wife Jamie retiring this year. So you know, we hate to see Keith go. He's worked extremely hard to try to steal the title of Mr. Fairfield Union away from Bill Queen. I don't think that'd ever be possible, but Keith gave it a great shot over the years. So, you know, would recommend the board approve that tonight, and then you know, we'll come forward later as we talk about basketball and activities director and those type of things. Also have resignation for retirement of Suzanne Stewart, 6th grade social studies. Ms. Stewart has just done an amazing job for this district for 30 plus years. Great person, you know, as a parent, I was lucky that my youngest Morgan got to have Miss Stewart in class, and unfortunately Sydney came in 7th grade and just missed having Suzanne, but just a tremendous person, great educator, very passionate about this district and our kids, and certainly we hate to see her go, but you know, we've shared often, you know, you get to this point and on a personal level, you're so happy for people that they're at a point where they can retire. But professionally, boy, it's going to be hard to fill those shoes. And so hate to see her go. And then our last one, not so much retirement, just resignation, but nonetheless, Heidi Carroll, high school cook, cashier, and her last day be November 15th. And Heidi is just one of the best human beings you'll ever meet in your lifetime. She's just one of a kind, truly a genuinely nice person, just takes so much pride in the job she does, the work she does, and has always been there for our kids at the high school, and really hate to see her go. The high school staff has suffered a couple of losses. Missy Morgan stepped away before the year, Heidi stepping out now, and then our lunch lady Lisa is indicating that she's probably going to retire at the end of the year. So those are three people that really made that high school kitchen function at a high level in the past few years. So hate to see them go, but like I said, we're awful happy for them on a personal level. Just hate it for us on a professional level, but would recommend the board approve those as we get there. We have support service contract. We've had an open bus route since the beginning of the school year, and Jeffrey Miller came on, did not have a CDL or a bus license, but came into the district, served as a sub-aide while he started training to become a bus driver, and has worked with Crystal Wortman and Colleen Loans, our OBI instructors, and has really just put in a lot of time, effort, and energy to earn that certification, and has just this past week passed his bus driver's test and is licensed up, and we are really happy to bring him on board. Like I said, just wanted to be a part of what we're doing here, and came to us, said, what do I have to do? Where is there an open door? And he saw that opportunity and worked hard to earn it. So, really it's just kind of indicative of Fairfield Union in general, is, working hard and finding a way, and so we're really happy to have him coming in. We also have coaching recommendations for cheerleading and middle school girls basketball, all returning coaches there, so we're happy to have them back. All of our coaches have done an amazing job, and just happy to have them back. And a volunteer for middle school wrestling, and we every time we approve volunteer, we talk about it. It's so thankful for those people who are willing to pay to be able to help our kids, and that's great stuff. Do have an educational trip, well, a couple that asking you to approve, but one in particular on November 14th. Ms. Poston will be taking a group of Fairfield Union High School students to Muskingum University. We've well documented our growing partnership with Muskingum for dual enrollment in CCP, and because of how that has rolled out so far, we got with Muskingum, and they had created a dedicated day to just Fairfield Union. So the students visiting on November 14th to the university will be Fairfield Union students only, and they're rolling out the red carpet. They have multiple departments who will have one-on-one meetings with kids depending on the kids' interests, whether it's education, music, computer science, engineering, nursing. So they'll have breakout sessions with each of those departments, as well as having student leadership panels to sit and talk to the students about the good, the bad, the ugly of being at Muskingum, what they like about it, maybe what challenges are. Just have really open, honest conversations with kids about Muskingum. And so, it's one of those situations. Every year we take our sophomores to the Career Center. We bring in military recruiters into our hallways, but rarely do we organize trips to take large groups of students to universities and show them what a campus looks like. And so I think this is a great opportunity for our kids who maybe don't know if they want to go to college, or don't know what that looks like, to actually step foot on a college campus and experience that and see it. And Muskingum will feed them lunch that day, and like I said, really kind of roll out the red carpet. And whether they go to Muskingum or don't go to Muskingum, maybe open their eyes to what college can be or is. And so that's going to be a really exciting day for us, and we'll see how that see how that goes. And then lastly on the agenda there, we had 21 board policies for your consideration. Like I said, a lot of those were just to bring us in alignment with recently passed legislation. Not a lot of wiggle room for us to not approve or not change some of those policies, but can most certainly answer any questions when we get to that part of the agenda. Any board members have any questions on that? Other updates, want to point out on our website, we have undertaken something that very proud of as a district. We have created a page called the Military Family Resource Center. We are making an effort to try to build a directory of all former Fairfield Union students who are either serving or have served in the military. There's a information sheet on the website that can be filled out and sent to us, either a hard copy or electronically. This is part of our ongoing efforts spearheaded by Mr. DeStadio to secure the Purple Star rating for all of our schools. This is part of that process, and you know, it's one of those things that you always kind of talk about and think about, but it's such a huge undertaking to try to capture all this information and make sure you don't miss someone. We just got that webpage up and going, I think, here in the past week or so. So we're really going to start advertising this and pushing it out to try to capture as much information as we can about our former students who have served in the military or are still serving in the military. And I think that's going to be a great addition to our website. A couple years ago, we started recognizing our graduates who were going into the military with special cords. So it's all part of that process of us really just trying to do a better job of honoring and recognizing our former students in the military. So really happy about that and excited to see where that goes. We've already got some slides up on that web page of information that has already started coming in, and you know, showing the service and rank and those type of things of those former students. And I tell you, you can't go to that page and scroll through those links and look at the service of those former students, and you just swell up with pride. It is really good stuff. So encourage you to visit that. If there's a slide right on the main page, but under the Parents tab on the website, there's more information there as well. So we're excited to continue with that project. What a weekend we just had. Just prideful is probably not strong enough a word for the feelings and the emotions of the past weekend, but I kicked off Friday night, just a valiant effort of our football team. First time in the playoffs in 18 years, first back-to-back winning seasons, and I don't even know how long it's been. I think in excess of 20 years since we had back-to-back winning seasons. So Coach Clark, his staff, and obviously the kids, just incredible work this year. Started the season, we're at one point 2-4, and showed so much resolve, heart, dedication to dig out of that hole, get to 6-4, make the playoffs, and earn a home game. You know, lost by 7, but had the ball, chance to try to drive and tie the game, and in the playoffs, that's all you can ask for, is having a shot there at the end. So proud of them to get the weekend started off. You know, obviously we're a little disappointed, wish we could have won, but just, again, so proud of the effort Friday night. And then Saturday, our music boosters had their craft fair, and just an incredible turnout there. We appreciate all they do to support our music program. And then it was on up to Columbus for the state cross-country meet. Our girls cross-country team has kind of been in the shadows a little bit this past weekend because of the success of our boys I'll talk about here in a second. But you know, we graduated just a lot of talent last year. Anna Conrad leading that group last year, and really going into the season, many of us felt like it was going to be a rebuilding year because we really lost the top of the team there to graduation. And you know, in true form under Coach Myers, it's never rebuild, we just reload. And the girls team earned a team appearance at the state cross country meet, and it's just incredible. I mean, you go years and years and years and never earn a berth as a team. You have individuals go, but to do it in a year when everyone thought we were going to be down is truly remarkable. And those girls just had a phenomenal season. So extremely proud of them for their efforts this year. And then in the boys race, Drew Walton repeating as state champion. You know, we haven't had many state champions in our school's history, let alone two-time repeat state champion. And then you sit and watch as they start crossing the finish line, and you knew after about 15th place that we were going to do it. And our boys won the state championship, D2, first athletic team state championship in school history. And I say athletic because you don't want to slight other groups and organizations. We've had several state championship teams in our ag department. But this is the first athletic one, and just amazing accomplishment. There aren't enough superlatives to talk about, you know, just how proud you are, or just how big this is. Very proud of them. We're going to have a few things coming up, and first, I'll kind of throw it out to the board now. I would like to propose moving our November 18th board meeting from the district office to Fairfield Union High School, and that is because we would like to recognize and honor the boys cross country team on November 18th, and I think we're going to need some space. We anticipate state representatives being with us that evening. Rumor has it that there could be some proclamations given out that evening to the team. So we know we're going to have state representatives there. We know we'll invite family and friends to join us on the 18th to recognize and honor the cross country team. Coach Harris, Mr. McPhail, Mr. Schaefer, myself met with Coach Myers today to kind of talk about a plan of action. The community response to this championship has been nothing short of amazing. So many people reaching out to us saying, hey, what can we do to help? We want to make sure we honor this and recognize these student athletes, and we're here for whatever you need. We'll jump in and help out. So we met with Coach today to talk about what we want to do, how we want to do it, and Coach met with the senior leaders on the boys cross country team, and what we've come up with is on November 18th, we'll recognize the cross country team at the board meeting. Like I said, state representatives will be in attendance, and then at a future date down the road, we're anticipating towards the end of basketball season, we will have a formal ring ceremony for the boys cross country team. We will present them with state championship rings and unveil a banner to be hung in the gym recognizing state champion. Coach Myers and the athletes indicated that things like parades were talked about and some things like that to recognize them, and it became pretty clear that the kids on the team wanted something tangible that they could have forever, and we believe championship rings are the answer to that, and they were excited about that, and they were appreciative of thoughts of a parade and everything else, but I think the kids were really excited to be recognized in front of their peers, in front of the community, and receive something that, that, like I said, they would have forever and be able to pass down to their kids one day and that type thing. So we're already in contact with Herff Jones. The designing of the rings started today. It's about a 12 to 13 week process to design, order, make, ship, get them in. And so if we're going to be able to do this before the end of basketball season, literally it started today. we're fast tracking that, and we're going to work really hard to get those in as soon as possible and have a more concrete date for when we will recognize the cross-country team at a basketball game. But we've got to see the timeline of those rings before we can give the firm date of when this is happening. So we'll get that information out to the community tomorrow of what the plans are to recognize the team. And we're really excited about that. We want to make sure we do it right, but we also want to make sure it's what Coach Myers and the student athletes want as well. So again, just overjoyed with happiness for them. And then Friday night or Saturday night, you come back from winning a state championship and you come back to the school, and then you walk in the auditorium for the 50th rendition of Marching Falcons in Concert, and I've been to 9 of them now, and by far this was the best one I've ever been to. If you were there, the sound quality that our band is producing is absolutely amazing. It's just stunning. Knock your socks off good. And so being there Saturday night, watching the band go through their paces and put on the shows, it was just high energy and just so much excitement. And we talked about this last board meeting, and shared it with our staff. Most recently in my monthly memo that I send out, that there's really so many great things happening in this district right now, and it's across the board. I don't care, pick an aspect of this district, and things are really functioning at a high level, and it's because of the staff, the kids, the parents, the community. All of those, when all of those things come together, absolutely amazing things happen, and proud of what we're able to accomplish here, and talked to a couple people and said, hey, you got to be careful about bragging, and I'm like, well, Daisy Dean, pitcher for the Cardinals, once upon a time said, it ain't bragging if you can back it up, if you can do it, and we're doing it, and I'm proud of our staff, I'm proud of our kids, I'm proud of this community that we're seeing successes like this, whether it's our near perfect special education rating, to our state report card that we went over last board meeting, to athletic accomplishments, to band, ag. We just getting back from the national FFA convention, and state degrees and all these other. I mean, it's just honestly, pick a component of this district, and it's really functioning at a high level right now. And kudos to our staff for making it all come together. So I'm just really proud of them. And then last, and I'll wrap things up so we can move on. This coming week, we have our alumni choir concert on Saturday, and this will be the second alumni concert, choir concert. So we're really excited about that. That'll be Saturday evening at the high school. I believe the concert starts at 6 p.m. if I'm not mistaken. So they'll practice Wednesday, Friday, and concert Saturday. And new this year, our directors have worked with FUMA and Travis Van Atta and his team. We will have representation K through 12 as well as our alumni all on the stage at one time. So that would just be a great community event, and so we're definitely looking forward to that as well. So a lot going on. We're excited, and like I said, as long as the board's okay with it, I don't think it takes a formal vote. We just have to put out public notice of a change of location of the board meeting. So if everyone's agreeable to that, November 18th, we'll have our meeting at Fairfield Union High School cafeteria, and we can publicize that today, starting today, and Ms. Conrad Zangmeister at the end of the meeting, if you'll make note on your notes to announce that instead of district office. I appreciate it. Any questions?
Yes, I do.
Yes,
It
ma'am.
sounds like exciting stuff
Nice.
going on, and you're
Wonderful.
really enjoying it this time of year. This
Yeah.
is great. I do have a question in
Yes.
regards to the Military Resource Center that
Yep.
you mentioned.
Yeah.
You said alumni and current students. Is there any way for the community to be able to, you said just go into the slides or go into the parent portal and you can fill out the information? It's all there online?
Yes, ma'am. It's, if you go to fairfieldunion.org, there's on the main page, there are big slides of just most recent news. And it's, I think the fifth slide over, if you just scroll through those, there's a link in the bottom left that says read more.
Yeah,
Or in the top right hand of the page, there's a parents tab.
yep,
If you click on the parents tab, then there's a link to the military page under the parents tab.
okay.
And then, I can also send an email to the community with links directly to that and put the form in the email to the community, so we can do that as well.
Anybody else have any questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Rebalvo. Recognition of visitors, we do not have any. So moving on to consent agenda section. So we got workshops and conferences. For the Carrie Burnsworth to the OMEA Professional Development Conference, February 6th through the 8th in Cleveland for $377. And then we have Jennifer McClure Spillers to chaperone the Blue Jackets Career Day for FCCLA, December 12th at the Nationwide Arena, $50. Wow, that's exciting. So we have those two workshops. And then, Ms. Roberts, do you want to move on to financial items?
Sure, just one quick item this evening. We just have one donation of $500 from Miller Farms or Pleasantville Enterprises for the land lab. Yes, this evening I will have, we just closed October on Friday, so I'll have all of those recaps and everything, just a mention of them in the next board meeting.
Very good.
Ms. Conrad Zingmeister also add, it's not a monetary donation, but Miller Farms did donate a lot of block that Mr. Kimmer and our Lane Lab Committee have been using to shore up a creek bank where there was a lot of erosion going on. So I would like to publicly acknowledge the fact that they gave block. Where Mr. Kimmer,
Yes,
fair?
indeed. Yes, indeed. That Miller Farms, David, Jim, and his sons, John, Derek, and Andrew, they're so supportive of Fairfield Union Schools, and how thankful we are to have such a supportive people as the Miller Farms, and they're always saying that's the least we can do. Well, they're just one of many. They're just wonderful people. If it's not material, well, then they turn around after they donated 1,800 block. They said, we also want to have a monetary gift of a donation of $500. So how wonderful of that Miller Farm. Thank you, Mr. Belleville.
That's very nice. All right. Thank you. So I need a motion to approve the consent agenda as recommended by the superintendent and treasurer.
So moved.
Mr. Smeltzer makes the motion. I need someone to second.
I'll second.
Mr. Kimmer seconds.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to the new business section. Starting with 5.1, we have the resignation of Keith Barr as a high school intervention specialist effective at the end of the school year 24-25. Do we have any comments besides what you said earlier?
Artie?
If nobody has any questions or comments, I just need a motion to approve his resignation.
So moved.
Ms. Johns makes a motion. I will second.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to 5.2, the resignation for retirement, Ms. Suzanne Stewart as the 6th grade social studies teacher effective December 31st, 2024. Does anybody have any comments or questions? If not, I need a motion on the floor to approve her resignation.
So moved.
Mr. Kimmer makes a motion.
I'll second.
Mr. Hoffman seconds.
Smeltzer.
Oh, was it Smeltzer? Sorry about that.
That's good.
Mr. Kimmer?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Motion passes. Moving on to 5.3, resignation of Heidi Carroll as a high school cook cashier effective November 15th. We don't have any more questions or comments. I need a motion to approve the
So moved.
resolution. Mr. Huffman makes the motion this time. I will second it.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes,
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mr. Smelter.
Yes.
motion passes. Moving on to 5.4, personnel services and supplemental contracts. We have a number of them here. We have Brooks Sabetan.
We skipped Miller.
We always skip
Yep,
five.
Miller.
Skipped
Oh,
5.4.
5.4, sorry about that, Mr. Miller. I just went straight to my computer screen and pulled up something else. Motion to approve a one-year service support contract for Jeffrey Miller as the bus driver, beginning November 5th. If there's no questions or comments, I need a motion to approve for that.
So moved.
Mr. Kimmer makes a motion.
I'll second.
Ms. John seconds.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes,
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mr. Smelter.
Yes.
motion passes. Now, moving on to personnel services and supplemental contracts, we have a number of them. Brooks Sabetan, Winter High School cheerleading advisor, Mariah Curie Woodside, the Reserve Winter cheerleading advisor, Emma Lysings, Winter Middle School cheerleading advisor, and Ron Raleigh, Middle School basketball for the girls. If there are no comments or questions, I need a motion to approve the personnel service supplemental contracts as presented.
So moved.
Mr. Smelter makes a motion. I will second.
Mr. Smelter.
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes,
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
the motion passes. Moving on to 5.6, volunteers. We have a motion on the floor, we need a motion on the floor to approve Thomas Johns Lovings as a middle school wrestling volunteer. If there are no questions or comments, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Ms. Johns makes a motion,
I'll second.
Mr. Hoffman seconds.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes,
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mr. Smelter.
Yes.
motion passes. Moving on to 5.7, educational trip by Ms. Poston, Ms. Kathy Poston, to take the high school students to Fairfield Union Day at Muskingum University on November 14th, as Mr. Belleville talked about in the superintendent's update. If there are no comments or questions, I need a motion to approve.
So moved, Mr. Conrad. Thank you.
Mr. Kimmer makes a motion. I need someone to second.
Second.
Mr. Smelter seconds.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mr. Smelter.
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes,
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
motion passes. Moving on to 5.8, educational trip. I need a motion to approve Ms. Jennifer McClure Spillers to take the FCCLA /FCS members to the Blue Jackets Career Day at Nationwide Arena, December 12th. If there are no questions or comments, I need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Mr. Hoffman makes a motion, I will second.
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes,
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
Mr. Smelter.
Yes.
motion passes. Moving on to 5.9. These are to approve the policy revisions as presented, the second reading. There's a number of them, as Mr. Belleville alluded to earlier, due to changes from the state, at the state level. Does anybody have any questions or comments to be made on any of these before we make a motion to approve? All right, then I need a motion to approve these as presented.
So moved.
Ms. Johns makes a motion. I need someone to second.
Second.
Go ahead. Second, Mr. Smelter.
Mr. Smelter seconds.
Mrs. Johns.
Yes.
Mr. Smelter.
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister.
Yes,
Mr. Hoffman.
Yes.
Mr. Kimmer.
Yes.
motion passes. This moves us into the executive session.
No action.
No action coming out of the executive session. All right, I need need a motion to adjourn to executive session in accordance with section 121.22 of the Ohio Revised Code.
So moved.
Mr. Kimmerer makes a motion. I will second.
Mr. Kimmerer?
Yes.
Mrs. Conrad Zangmeister?
Yes.
Mr. Hoffman?
Yes.
Mrs. Johns?
Yes.
Mr. Smeltzer?
Yes.
7:35, we are adjourned.